It's extremely rare to have a player start and end, finish his entire long, illustrious career with one team. It just is what it is, right? But I will say that the Vikings, just for some reason, it's weird. Honorable mention seeing Adrian Peterson in a Washington or a Saints or a Cardinals jersey, seeing Christian Ponder in a Broncos uniform, that whole thing. Fran Tarkenton with the Giants, for sure. But we did top 5 list of guys that made their bones as a legend of the Vikings. A lot of them Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers. And then they went to another team, and then you're like, that looks off. So here's our top 5 today. So numero uno, number 5, Brett Favre. Just kidding. Number 5, so Jared Allen. Jared spent 6 seasons, glorious seasons, in the purple after coming over in a trade from the Chiefs in 2008. And yeah, people forget he spent his rookie contract with the Chiefs. He came here. It was great. But then in 2014, the Vikings signed him to like a 6-year deal, earned every single penny. He was amazing, right? Future Hall of Famer, first ballot, will go in as a Viking, which is going to be great. But in 2014, he signed with the Bears. Because the Vikings were like, we got Everson, we got B-Rob, deuces. And then he signed a 4-year, $32 million deal with 15.5 guaranteed with the Bears. And it was like, what? He picked up 5.5 sacks with Chicago over 18 games. He finally got to play against Matt Khalil in a real game instead of just practice every single day. It was great. Before he eventually was traded to Carolina, playing and losing a Super Bowl to Gary Kubiak in Super Bowl 50. So didn't quite work out. That was his final game, too, by the way, that Super Bowl. Way to ride in the sunset, cowboy. Woo! Next up, number 4, Randy Moss and the Titans. Right? So Randy Moss started with the Vikings 98, went to the Patriots, but then, came back in 2010. It's such a weird-ass season. Again, 2010 deserves its own 30 for 30. But Childress traded a third-round pick for Randy Moss and then cut him a month later, just completely lighting a third-round pick on fire, which eventually led to Childress being fired. So I guess for that we thank you. But the Titans picked him up for the final 8 games. I forget if he was on waivers, if he cleared waivers, doesn't matter. He's a veteran, so maybe he doesn't. Whatever. Put up 6 catches, 80 yards, and 0 touchdowns on 16 targets. Just great. Just not work out. He retired in 2011, but then came back in 2012 with the Niners, made a Super Bowl run with Jim Harbaugh, Kaepernick, and San Fran. So, still weird. Still weird. Next up, numero tres, John Randall. Johnny friggin' Randall heading out. This is what started the trend of Vikings West out in Seattle. Also John's an anomaly on this list because he was actually really good and productive his time in Seattle. Vikings let the 34-year-old defensive tackle go in free agency in 2000. Another feather in Red McCone's cap, just great. Well, after the 2000 season, signed up with Mike Holmgren and the Seahawks. Of course, Holmgren, all of his years with Green Bay, he knows what Johnny Randall could bring to the table, right? So he signed him up, played 3 years in Seattle. He made the Pro Bowl in 2001, racking up 11 sacks. It was great. It was amazing. Also, it just sort of paved the way for Kevin Williams to end his career with the Seahawks. People forget that too. There's just something about Vikings who wear number 93 going west because Randall did it, Kevin Williams did it, Shamar Stephen did it before he came back. Just so weird. But although the Seahawks do need to bring back these uniforms, these are tight. These are tight. Number 2, this one hurts. Chris Carter. Chris Carter and the Dolphins. So after the 2001 season, Chris Carter, 36 years old, he opted out of his contract because Denny was gone, and CC's like, I ain't rebuilding. I'm rebuilding with Mike Tice. I'm out. Eventually signed with the Dolphins in 2002, but CC was starting to decline. 37 years of age. 8 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown over 5 games, including a Week 16, 20-17 loss at the Metrodome versus the Vikings. CC had 1 catch for 15 yards, so he fully treadwelled it. And also, I think his quarterback was Jay Fiedler, future Vikings legend Jay Fiedler. So, great. Cool. Lastly, last one. Numero uno of Vikings who look weird in different uniforms. Alan Page. Yeah, I mean, just what is going on here? Why? So, Purple People Eaters legend, a 6-time All-Pro, League MVP in 1971, Hall of Famer, was just amazing. But he spent his final 3.5 seasons with the Bears, mid-1978 to 1981. Of course, sacks didn't become an official stat until 1982. But then Page retired in 1981 at the age of 36. Went on to a long, illustrious law career and was phenomenal and did great things for the great state of Minnesota. But also, this seems like a long time ago. You think about Alan Page, you think about some black and white photos, you think about the Purple People Eaters. But, I mean, Ditka was hired, his first year was 1982. And Alan Page is only 4 years removed from the 85 Bears. Also, well, first off, the Vikings should have been the 85 Bears. Like, the Vikings should have introduced the 46 defense to the league because Buddy Ryan was the Vikings defensive line coach 76-77. So that's one of the big reasons why he brought Alan Page to Chicago, because 78, he was named the defense coordinator of the Bears. And this entire time, he was formulating that 46 defense. And, ooh, come on. It should have been 46 defense with the Purple People Eaters, and then eventually the 46 defense with Chris Dolman and Joey Browner and Keith Millard, and I'm just verklempt. I'm just, what could have been. We should do a whole video on that, but yeah, Buddy Ryan just going to the Bears. But that is it. Those are the top 5 Vikings who look weird in different uniforms. What are your thoughts on the rankings? Who should be in? Who should be out? Whatever, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You want to support the work? Pull us on the Venmo. Plus, give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skull, production value.